guys, welcome to my 2018 MX-5 RF GT. So today I'm gonna take you for a first-person view driving. So I'm gonna show you how the car handles, and yeah, let's get started. So I would really love to drive with the roof off, but looks like it's gonna rain, as you can see. So it's better just close the roof, and just in case, because this car, so you can only close the roof with a lower speed. So if this car is running, so it's not gonna happen. And of course it's a 6-speed manual, and to start the car, same as many other cars, clutch in. Let me show you how this so there's a button here to close the roof. It takes about 15 seconds something. And you can see this one will show you the operation complete. Let's go, guys. So I'll put the camera on my head again. So I think it's been a while since the last time I do the point of view driving, and I kind of miss it. So alright, I'm ready. So this car, how can I say this? So my first impression is, so the interior is simple. It's very simple, but really nicely made. Yeah, just everything just suit my style, and I feel like the driving position is perfect for me. Alright, so let's go see if there are any cars. So right now, it's Sunday afternoon, I think quite a few cars going for up north, traveling. Yeah, no cars. And this one, so this car has a blind spot monitoring system. So you don't need to worry too much about the blind spot, but it's better to double check, make sure no cars, because you don't know, sometimes a system maybe 40, you know. Yeah, so as soon as you sit in the car, so you'll notice, so everything is pretty light, steering, but it's really accurate, straight. And it has a little screen to show you, don't forget to change gear. So right now I just moved to 6th gear. Yeah, so after driving so many old cars, so this one is really refined. You have the air conditioning, pretty good, and yeah, just very comfortable. Also the handling, yeah, not gonna lie, so this car is probably one of the best handling cars in this price range. But even if you compete with more expensive cars, so this one is still really competitive in terms of the handling and also the driver satisfaction, so it's really good. And the steering is really accurate. You can do some really minor adjustment, you can see. And the size of the steering wheel, it could be slightly smaller, but right now it's almost perfect, but I think it could be slightly smaller, maybe just 5mm smaller, because the cabin is pretty small, so it can be slightly smaller, I think. So I'm gonna go to a really beautiful road and a downshift, so everything is really simple. So this car doesn't have the automatic bleep control, but still really easy because the throttle response is really quick. So if I rev the engine, so it's almost like a, so you don't have to wait. It's like an instant downshift, you can see. It's much easier than my old cars, and even actually the only competitor, so for me, so my previous Lotus Elise, so that car handles really similar, actually slightly better than this, but because of the weight distribution, so this one has a front engine, so actually it's more predictable. So I think so I like the front engine car more than the mid or rear engine, and you don't need much power. So it's just really easy in this situation. And I believe you guys already watched a lot of reviews on YouTube. So everybody says, so this is so MX-5, so Miata is always the answer. So I think it is. It is really, so you don't have to drive too fast to really enjoy the handling and also the fun factor of the car. Unlike some other like European or other newer performance cars. So with a lower speed, it's only comfort. You cannot really feel any other things. I'm not sure, but I've been driving some newer cars as well, so the MX-5 ND, yeah, it's really well made. You can just slowly cruise around here, but still really like third gears. So this engine, because it's a ND1 engine, so it cannot rev to 7,500, but only 7,000 RPM. But still is enough, I think. Because for me, I only rev to about 5,000 to 6,000 sometimes, so it's already pretty exciting. But when you need it, you can rev to pretty high RPM, but it's unnecessary. So this car already pretty good with, you can see, fourth and third gear around the mountain road like this. And because it's the GT version, so RF GT version, so it comes with the Recaro seats and also the BBS wheels, Brembo brakes, and the brake is really nice. You can see yeah, you can feel the bite. It's not an instant bite, but the power is pretty good. Apparently it has ABS, so you control the power, the brake force for you. And you can see even with a narrow road like this, so it's not nervous to drive, it's really relaxed because the visibility is really good, so you can see the front pretty well. You can see even with something like that, you can still handle it pretty comfortable. But maybe I just drive slightly slower because I think some cars maybe they're freaked out. Yeah. Yeah, quite a lot of cars today. See the downshift, really nice to control. And also I found the manual gearbox in the MX-5s. So just 1 second, let me pause here. So I think they might want to get some aftermarket parts to make the transmission mount slightly stiffer. As you can see, the actually shakes a little bit, but it doesn't impact the driving experience. But I think if the maybe like a transmission brace will be really helpful for more accurate shifting and less vibration. Oh, look at this beautiful view. Yeah, you can see this car, I didn't even use full throttle. I think that one was just about 30% throttle. But you can see the torque is pretty instant. I think we're really close to the gravel road. So let me make a U-turn here. So I just talk to you. You can see this car really easy to maneuver. And it has the hill start assist for the manual. So the car is not gonna roll back when you're uphill, which is nice. So that one just make the driving manual much easier than the traditional manual transmission. So on the hill start, sometimes make you getting nervous, you know. But with the hill start, the brake assist, so we'll hold you on the hill for a couple seconds, and then just go. It's very easy. I still recommend everyone, so if you drive a manual transmission, so you need to master the hill start with a traditional gearbox. The new technology is obviously good, but I think you still need to get a better skill for different kinds of situation, you know. Alright, let's get back to the car. So there's a stop sign. You can see only 4,000 RPM, but it's pretty good. So I don't have to rev to 7,000 RPM to get more excitement. But yeah, the car is a bit slow at the front, but let's just wait for a while. So overall, because I think this car is newer, so apparently the suspension, everything. Oh, and by the way, this car has a built-in, so you know, the yellow color sport suspension in the GT version. Actually, I think all the manual transmission in the MX-5 range, so they all come with LSD and the built-in suspension, so which is good for the handling. Yeah, so that car just realized I probably want to drive slightly faster. Anyways, so the speed limit is 80 kilometers an hour here, so I'm within the limit. But you can see this kind of road with 80 speed limit is already pretty fun. So you definitely don't need to drive like a maniac, right, to enjoy the road. Yeah, 80 already feels pretty fast on the road like this. And MX-5 though, so the suspension and chassis, so it just give you so much confidence. It's not that stiff. It's relatively softer than all the cars I had. But I think as a factory version right now, so they did a pretty nice job in terms of the handling, because I feel like the turning, so the handling is much better than my other cars. So I can feel plenty of grips. Actually, when the suspension is softer on the road like this, so it has a little bit of body roll, but just make you feel really safe, you know. So if it's too stiff, sometimes you might feel like, oh, my car is gonna roll over. But actually it's still in a pretty safe range. So even at the corner, I can do a really accurate adjustment on the steering wheel. You can see some bump on the corner is still very, very stable. So this one is a tiny bit dangerous corner because of the good brakes. It make the situation really easy to control. Yeah, I don't really need to change gears. Just third gears, I can handle the situation pretty well. And so when we get into the main road, so I'll do a tiny bit pull to show you how the car accelerates. So it's not crazy fast, but it's powerful enough for the car like this, just slightly over 1 ton with about 160 horsepower. So I think this is a pretty perfect combination. Just wait for a second. Let's go. So first gear. Yeah, so I have a speed limit warning, 1 to 10. I can see, so the car is still sounds okay, right? When the RPM is high. But the speed, so it's still in a really mild level, so it's not like, so it sounds like going 160, 170 something, not that crazy, but something like that, but actually it's only 100 kilometers an hour, so which is really good. So it's making you feel the car is going really fast, but actually so still in a really safe range. Let me check if I can do another pull. Maybe when I go in that corner. Yeah, I think this car is really perfect for the overall. You can see, I'm going to show you the fuel economy. So 70 liters per 100 kilometers. So this is the average for the last 1,000 kilometers I drive. So 70 liters per 100 kilometers, which is really amazing for the car like this. Nowadays you cannot find any sport car with 70 liters, right, per 100 kilometers range. And the power to weight ratio, so I think the Lotus is okay, it's pretty well. I think similar like this, around 7 to 8 liters per 100 Ks. But price, right? So this one is only slightly over $30,000, but the Lotus at least $70,000. So you can, when you spend money to get a car like this, you can get a really similar driving experience with the Lotus. Yeah, I think Mazda are really good at to reduce the cost, right? To make everyone enjoy the car more. And also the Recaro seats, so with Alcantara material, with leather. So this one really make me just like sitting on the high-end sofa, you know, really comfortable and give you nice support. And actually I think it's a good thing to get a GT version. But it's a shame, so the New Zealand market, where the newer GT version doesn't come with Recaro seat anymore, but just a normal leather seat. But the older one, like this 2018, so it still come with the Recaro seats. I think this one, if you want to buy separately, it costs you more than $10,000 per pair. So I think, yeah, that's one of the reasons I decided to get this car, because it comes with the EPS, so Recaro, and also the Brembo brakes. So all of these parts is quite expensive if you want to upgrade. Alright, let's have a look here. Third gear. Yeah, you can see the engine sounds okay, but the speed is really safe. So that's one thing I really like this car. And because the car is really light, even with fifth gear on the uphill, still very easy to manage. The turning just so easy and accurate. And because the steering, so this one doesn't have the hydraulic or the older version steering pump, so it has the electrical steering pump. So it's maybe not, it won't give you too much feedback compared with the manual, like a manual steering, or the something like Lotus without a power steering. So this one still a tiny bit numb when if you really want to feel the bump on from steering wheel. It's not that easy. But I think the Mazda did a pretty good job on the how can I say that? So the turning ratio. So you can see you only need to turn slightly, but you can feel the difference immediately. So that's very accurate. downshift, everything is really nice too. Yeah, still very nice. So it doesn't have too much feedback through the steering wheel, but it doesn't make the handling worse. Actually, it feels really safe. And the speed limit becomes 60 around here, so I don't really understand. It could be 80. Because 60 is too slow, to be honest. You can see just like that. Do you agree with me? So 60 kilometers an hour is really slow on the road like this. But what can I do? So the transport agency make the decision to slow the traffic, right? Alright, I'm gonna stop around, I think there's a parking spot around there. Yeah, probably just drive to the front a little bit. Yeah, at a low speed, so this car is really smooth. And I think, so if you don't have kids, so this one is definitely one of the best daily driver. So if you want to experience the driving for everyday basis, you know, I'm sure you don't want to just drive a normal car every day, 5-6 days a week, but you can only drive your manual transmission car during the weekend. But this is the option for you. So if you want to enjoy the driving every day, going to work, back home with a car like this, I think this is a really good option. If you say, oh, I don't know how to drive manual transmission, come on man, it's really easy to learn. So I can do it within a week. I think you can do it as well. And this car has a lot of assist, so it's not easy to stall the car. And why not? So and really fuel efficient. You know, I was going to get a hybrid for daily use, but when I actually calculate the price, so how much fuel I'm gonna use and also the depreciation, you know, so over a couple of years, maybe the hybrid car I was going to get, maybe the price is gonna be cheaper than this, and this one is gonna hold the value. Yeah, worst case, it's gonna just reduce a little bit, but still gonna hold the value pretty well. Alright, so let's park here. You can see, sometimes I just don't understand why some cars just constantly braking, you know? You're not going really fast, you're just going 50, but that's a good thing about manual transmission. You can use the gear to slower the engine, I mean the speed of the car, without using the brake, and it's actually good for your brakes. Alright, so let's have a look. I will just turn off the engine and make sure the car is in gear reverse because the car is downhill, and sometimes if you're the handbrake 40 and the car gonna roll down. Let's have a look. So this is a really nice spot in Recaro. See how beautiful the coastline. So this is the east coast. Really nice, right? Yeah, Aurora Beach, Aurora. Yeah, there was a guy really liked my car and just want to have a chat about it, and so I just back on the road again. But yeah, I think the MX-5 really gave me really nice impression so far. So I didn't find any downside of the car for me, and so if you have a chance in the future, maybe when the car price is slightly cheaper, I think right now the 1.5 base model MX-5 is really cheap right now, just about probably around $18,000 to $20,000, but you can get a pretty nice Japanese import, or even the New Zealand, just the New Zealand new model, and so ND MX-5, or in Japan they call the Roadster. So definitely go experience one of them when you got a chance. Yeah, because I think in the future, so because the car manufacturer, they're focusing on some different technology now, so electrical cars, and it's gonna be really difficult to get something like MX-5 anymore, you know. So I'm not sure if the newer MX-5 is gonna have the battery, you know, just the EV. Not the EV, but maybe the hybrid version. But I still think the petrol motor is the best to experience the driving. And definitely go get a manual transmission, because man, I don't want to say that, but the automatic MX-5 is really rubbish. Sorry, it might make some of you uncomfortable if you have the automatic MX-5, but I must tell you, when you got a chance, swap it with a manual transmission. So you really don't just I'd rather drive a Toyota Aqua, you know, just normal daily driver, automatic, right, rather than have a automatic MX-5. Yeah, don't get me wrong, if you have a automatic MX-5, that will be one of the best handling automatic cars, you know. But if you really want a driving engagement, so definitely get a manual transmission. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed the video and my car, and I'll keep driving and explore more, and so when I find out something interesting, I will show you guys later about my car. And yeah, so just for now, and see you next time.